welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul J. Lipsky. I'll be your host today, answering all your questions about eBay and Amazon dropshipping. If you guys are not familiar with what it is that I do, this is a very simple form of dropshipping, or very simple form of e-commerce, where we are listing items up for sale on eBay and Amazon. Once those items sell, we then buy them directly on other retail websites like Walmart.com and ship them directly to the customer who purchased the item from us on eBay or Amazon. That way we never have to buy a bunch of inventory up front that we don't think is or don't know is ever going to sell. We don't ever have to hold inventory, and we never have to worry about shipping the item because the drop shipping retailer that we're using is going to be doing that all for us. So that's the basic model of what it is that I do and what it is that I teach here on the channel. But I know there's a lot more that goes into it. So that's why I have these Q&As every single week, so you guys can ask your questions. If you're here live, awesome. Ask them in the live chat underneath this video or on the side. If you're not here live, you can ask your question in the comment section of any of my videos, and then consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that little bell notification so that you get alerted when I do go live, so that you can join me during the next live Q&A. All right, so I saved up a bunch of great questions from this week, so let's dive into them right after we see who's here in the live chat. I'm currently right now in Miami, Florida. For those of you who don't know, I travel around the country full-time in an RV. So if you want to kind of know where I am, that's where I am today, Miami, Florida. But let me know in the chat where it is in the world you are chatting in from. All right, so first question we have is from Jose. Jose asked me earlier today, with Home Depot and Walmart, when I'm using them to drop ship from them, do I have to register and open an account with them in order to use them as a supplier? So the short answer is that yes, you do. So with Walmart in particular, you need to have a Walmart account with them. That's the only real way to buy items from their website. And you're going to want to do that also because once you become tax exempt on Walmart, which is when you buy items from Walmart and you don't have to pay them sales tax in some circumstances because you're a reseller. So in order to set that up, you do have to link that up with a Walmart account. So it does pay to have a Walmart account. Now with Home Depot, you technically do not need a Home Depot account. Every time you purchase items from Home Depot, you can do guest checkout. There's really nothing wrong with that. So I guess the short answer wasn't yes. It was yes and no in this case. But with Home Depot, there's no harm in creating an account. It takes just a couple minutes to do that. Okay, so next question I had was from Nerve. So Nerve has a question about VAs, which stands for virtual assistants. So if you guys don't know who these virtual assistants are, these are workers that I hire, and I've hired them from the Philippines, where the pay is about $2 an hour, maybe $300 a month. And I pay them to run my dropshipping businesses for me because it's all done online. One of the beautiful things about this business, dropshipping, is that it can be done entirely online, anywhere you have a laptop and an internet connection, which is why I'm able to do this from an RV traveling around, right? So the question is, you hire these VAs, they live in the Philippines. When they go onto your eBay account, do they need to use what's called a VPN to access your eBay store? So a VPN is a virtual private network. So when you are traveling in other countries, let's say the Philippines, if you try to access some US websites, you will not be able to do that. So for instance, if you're in the Philippines and try to access homedepot.com, you will not be able to do that. Why? Because Home Depot is designed for US buyers. They don't want people from other countries accessing it. I don't know what the harm is of someone in the Philippines just going on there to browse around, but that's what they do, right? So the question is, do VAs need to use a VPN? Because a VPN will then make it look like they are here in the United States. So if they use the VPN and then access Home Depot, they would be able to do that. So the question is, do they need to use a VPN to access your eBay store? The answer is no. So I never had my VAs do that. It's never been an issue. Some people fear that if their VAs access their eBay account from the Philippines without a VPN, it will raise some sort of security concern with eBay. But that's never happened to me. I've had many VAs access my eBay account from outside the United States, and it has never been an issue for me. So that's the only experience I can speak of, is my own experience. Without a doubt, I can say it doesn't matter. But there are certain suppliers, of course, like Home Depot, where they will have to use the VPN to access those websites. And you might want them to use a VPN for security reasons, because using a VPN actually, let's say you're at a Starbucks and you're using the public Wi-Fi there. If you start doing like banking information, doing like banking, online banking, while you're sitting at Starbucks, that's a bad idea, because anyone on that same network who knows how to do it could access your information, could access then your bank account. But using a VPN is supposed to protect you from that. So you can access public Wi-Fi and do sensitive information like that as long as you are using a VPN. So you might want your VAs to use a VPN for that added level of security. Okay. We have Len Estrada here saying, what are the 3 most important things to look for when choosing a product? That's a good question. So the exact product research method that I use, I actually have it detailed and outlined inside my free eBay dropshipping training. So if you want to check out that completely 100% free training, that will be linked up in the description of this video. So go ahead and check that out. So the question is, what are the 3 most important things to look for? So the first thing that I always say is you want to sell products that are already selling well on eBay. There's no use in reinventing things here. There's no use in trying to sell products that you're not sure are going to sell. You can go on eBay and see what is already selling well. So that's the first criteria, and really the most important one. The second thing I look for is that I can get that item on another retailer's website, right? So there's no use in seeing like, okay, there's this case for my computer. Oh, it's selling really well, but you can't buy it on any other retail website. So it's not going to work for this type of drop shipping. So that's the second most important thing. And the third most important thing I would say is that the supplier that you're going to buy it from is one that you're familiar with and you know is going to work well for drop shipping. So the ones that I primarily use are Home Depot and Walmart, but there's certainly a ton of other ones, and a lot of ones I've been experimenting with, like AliExpress and Banggood. I've used Lowe's in the past. There's just a lot of them out there that you can use. So those are the 3 things that I would look for. Pretty much the first thing is the most important. As long as it's already selling well, and you can, and I guess the first and the second, and you can buy it from another retail website, that's all that really matters. That's what you're looking for right there. Okay, Josh has a really good question about different suppliers that you want to use. And guys, if my video quality isn't the best, isn't as good as it's been in the past, I do apologize for that. Like I said, I am traveling, still trying to figure out the Wi-Fi situation. The audio should be good, so let me know in the comments section how the video and audio quality is. I'm trying to always make this as good as possible, but I figure the audio is more important than the video. If all of it looks good, if you're satisfied, then give the video a thumbs up. That lets me know that everything is set and good, and this is good enough for you guys as long as I'm answering your questions. So Josh says, what can you do when you're ordering an item from a supplier and the supplier says that it'll take 2 to 6 days just to ship the order out, but in eBay it only gives you a specific amount of time to get an item out? So maybe it's 2 or 3 days on eBay. It really depends on how you set up your business policies, specifically your handling time. And that is going to be my answer for you, Josh. If the supplier that you're using takes a longer time to ship out your items, then that should be reflected in the listing for that item. So you can actually go into your business policies and create a new one specifically for this supplier and make the handling time much longer. Make it 2 to 6 days, or you can't do 2 to 6 days, but make it longer so that you can, that accurately reflects what it is for that supplier. That way you don't run into that issue going forward for that supplier. And that should alleviate. Now, for now, what you should do is reach out to the customer, just let them know there's been a slight delay, but you are working on getting the item out and you do apologize, but definitely change your business policies. All right, so Mark Newman says, hey, Paul, I've been using everything you teach. Thanks, Mark. And doing 2 to 4 sales a day, so congrats to you, Mark. My question is, do you use AutoDS Bulk Uploader? It seems like it can save some time. So Mark, I do not use the Bulk Uploader. So let me explain to people who aren't familiar with the Bulk Uploader what it is. Let me first explain what AutoDS is for those of you who don't know. So like I said, we're taking items from like Walmart and listing them for sale on eBay. And the way we actually create the listing on eBay is using a tool called AutoDS, but there's several different tools out there that do this. AutoDS is the one that I use right now and really like and recommend. And with that one, all you do is you take the URL from Walmart. So let's say it's like, again, let's say it's this item right here. This item on Walmart, at the top, it will have a URL. I just copy that URL, paste into AutoDS, and then AutoDS will automatically list that item for sale on eBay. It pulls in all the information from Walmart. So it's really, really fast and very easy to use. But there's another feature AutoDS has that's a bulk uploader, where you just give it like 10 or 20 or 30 of those URLs, and it will just, boom, list all of them up for you like in a matter of minutes. I do not use that bulk uploader function. Let me tell you why. So the first reason is, as I teach inside my course, eBay Dropshipping Titans, I know all my students know this. When I list that item up for sale onto eBay, I change the title. And we also go through the actual description and take out certain information that's in there. We might also change the photos a little bit. So I do like to do them individually for that reason. I call this part optimization. It's taking what already exists and making it better, making it so that it's more likely to convert into a sale. So that's what we're trying to do. You can do that with bulk uploading, but I find that it really doesn't lend itself that well to it. So you really should be looking at them individually if you're following the type of method that works for me and my students. So that's a big reason I don't use bulk uploading. I'm also kind of the opinion that eBay doesn't like it when you kind of quickly list items. At least for some people, we've seen if you scale too quickly as a new seller, eBay doesn't like it. They might temporarily suspend your account, and it's just a pain to get it reinstated. So just avoid that, especially for new sellers. I would not be doing bulk uploading. Just do like one at a time, or just on a more consistent but on a regular basis without a huge amount all at once. All right, so Graphic Designs has this is a question that's happening, some current news, and it's a very sad, tough situation. So Graphic Design says, hey Paul, I'm drop shipping from China, and now there's the coronavirus over in China, and it's obviously really sad what's happened. It's a tragedy. So many people have died from it, but also thinking more on the business side of it, not to belittle the human lives that have perished because of it. But if we are focusing on the business, at least for this video, the question is, how is this impacting businesses that ship items from China? Because it definitely is. And I've looked into this a little bit, but there's just so much unknown at this time. So the first thing you want to consider is that we just were in the Chinese New Year. And during that time of year, the entire country just pretty much shuts down for weeks. Now, in the middle of that, we have the coronavirus comes in, and that's making things even more difficult. And it's extending this time when the whole country shut down. And they've even said that the Chinese New Year is going to be kind of extended until after this crisis is over. So there's a lot of unknowns right now. I was doing some drop shipping from China myself, but right before the new year, I had turned everything off because of the new year, and I've just continued to leave it off because I just don't know what's happening over there in terms of being able to ship out items. So maybe I'll make an updated YouTube video and have some more information, because I think I know some people who might have some more information about that. So I'm actually going to write that down so that I don't forget to make a video for you guys about that, because I do think it's an important thing for us to consider. Virus. All right. Sorry about that noise. Okay, Yassine says, hey Paul, is it hard to get tax exempt on Home Depot, Walmart, and Amazon? So, like I mentioned before, when you buy items from these retail websites, specifically for the purpose of reselling them on eBay and Amazon, or for shipping them to customers who already bought from you on eBay and Amazon, you don't have to pay sales tax when you buy the item. Sorry. And the reason for that is because only the end consumer has to pay the sales tax. And in this case, the end consumer isn't you, it is your buyer on eBay and Amazon. So you have to actually let Home Depot, Walmart, and Amazon know that. And that's called getting tax exempt. Now, getting tax exempt is not a hard process, but it is, I would say, there's a lot of steps involved, right? So there's several documents that you need, certain certificates, and you have to submit certain paperwork. Again, not hard, just a lot of steps involved. I actually have a whole module in my course dedicated to it because there's so many steps involved, but it is so powerful once you get it, because that does give you such a competitive advantage, because you're not just throwing away money that you don't have to throw away for things like sales tax. So not hard, just a lot of steps involved. Okay. Okay. How do we go about filing as a business for tax purposes, or even using this proof of income to buy a house or car? Ruben, okay. So when it comes to a business, that really depends on what business structure you have. So if you've never set up a business, and in order to set up a business, you actually have to file documents with at least one of the states here in the United States. Let's say you've never done that. That means you are operating as a sole proprietor. And as a sole proprietor, any income the business makes is your personal income. So just tell your CPA you've been doing this kind of side hustle, and you've taken in this much money was out in expenses, and that's included on your individual tax return. Now, if you're of actual business, well, it depends on what business type you have. A very common one here in the United States is an LLC, which stands for Limited Liability Corporation. And with those ones, for the most part, it's still going to reflect on your individual tax return. So it's a pass-through entity, it's called. So it actually passes through to the owner of the company, which is you. And so it is still reported, at least for federal purposes, on your individual tax return. So these are things you should definitely speak to your CPA, your accountant about, because if you have a corporation, it will be different. You might need a separate one for that. If you're in certain states, sometimes the state will treat it as a separate corporation or separate business that needing its own tax return, while for the federal government, you'll need actually just one, which is individual. So a lot that goes in there, so you really have to speak to a CPA about your individual circumstances. And the second question is probably better for them as well. Or you can, if you're buying a house or car, just ask them if it's good enough, your tax return. Hey, Noah says, hey, Paul, you going to Rico's meetup? Absolutely. That's why I got to Miami tonight. It's Tuesday, so it starts on Friday. So I will definitely be there. No, I'm not sure. Are you going, man? That'd be awesome to see you. I'm sure there'll be a lot of videos from the meetup. I'm sure there'll be some live streams from there as well. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram at Paul J. Lipsky, I'll be putting up a lot of posts from there as well. It should be an amazing, amazing time for those of you guys who can make it. Can't wait to meet a lot of you guys there. Okay. I know you use AutoDS, but why? So I use AutoDS because, first of all, it works with the suppliers that I use, the main suppliers. Also, I really like a lot of their functionality and their features. Like, it has a non-API version, which if you don't know what that means, don't worry. It's just something I prefer that they have that. It's one of the few that has it. It also has a lot of advanced features that I like just different things it can do with pricing. I just really like it. I think it works really well. Very easy to use, all in one system that I've been really enjoying. Why live this early? It's 2:09 a.m. here in Italy. Well, Mercy, thank you so much for for viewing in from Italy. It's not that time of the day here in Miami, though. Boom. This is Fat Elvis Goods. Okay, Abdel says, I want to start a second eBay store using the same laptop. Is that safe? Yes, it is. So when you start a new eBay store, and you're just running it from your same computer, what's going to happen is you're going to have store 1, you're going to have store 2, and eBay will know that the two stores are linked up together, which is totally fine. You're allowed to have more than one eBay store. Now, if something weird happens and store number 1 gets suspended, then store number 2 will get suspended as well. So that's the only risk. But if you run everything correctly and you do everything you're supposed to do, then your store is not going to get suspended anyway, so you're going to be fine. But that's really the only risk. So I see some thumbs up, which makes me feel like everything's good with the audio, so that's good. Yeah, you can have up to 8 eBay stores. Yep. So again, Abdel says, I'm using AliExpress. A lot of problems with coronavirus, so shipping is late. You just got to hang in there. I mean, I would extend your handling and shipping times. I'm not even using them right now. I'm just using my U.S. suppliers like Home Depot, Walmart, and some other ones as well. And we just got to kind of wait it out. We don't know what's going to happen. This is kind of outside anyone's control. Yeah, I don't know. That's, yeah, why eBay does not have a handling time of 6 to 9 days. It goes from 5 to 10. I don't know. It's strange. Okay. Yeah, my supplier's still on holidays till the 18th. Yeah, that's why I turned it off. Because of that. Hey, Alex, welcome. So glad that you are here. Okay. All right, so let's look at some more of these questions I had saved up. Okay, Ali the Gamer says, I want to hire a VA, but I'm a little skeptical. Is it a risk to give them your eBay account and other account info? So when you hire a virtual assistant, you're not going to give them access to your eBay account on day 1. That's not what you should be doing. You should start them out with a very simple task that doesn't need access to your eBay account. Maybe that's fulfilling orders, and they could just log into your software that you use, like AutoDS. Zeek Analytics, there's no risk in you giving them your Zeek Analytics account password so they can do product research for you. Start them out slowly and slowly build that trust up. I actually have a whole section in my VA course all about how to have VAs safely work on your account without exposing sensitive information like bank accounts and credit cards and passwords. So there's definitely a lot of ways around it using software. But something like Zeek Analytics, there's no risk in you that I can think of you giving them your password for that. It's just a product research software. Ecom Tomcat. Okay. Do you think your account may get affected, if you're creating stores for friends on your computer, if they get banned? Yeah, I think that's definitely a risk. So like I just said, if you create more than one store from the same computer, eBay, there's a good chance will link them up. Now, there's a lot of different things that eBay looks at in order to link up to stores. They're always trying to figure out who owns what stores and trying to link them up. So there's many things they look at. So just having the same like IP address, that alone might not link up to computers. But if they see the same cookies, the same IP address, the same name on the account, or maybe the same address, the more they have linked up, the more likely it is that they will actually link up the two accounts. So I've helped people with their eBay accounts. I've helped them start eBay accounts, and I always treat it like a stealth account. And a stealth account, for those of you who don't know, is, okay, again, I have store number 1. Let's say store number 1 gets suspended, okay? Now, if I try to start store number 2, eBay will immediately suspend it because I'm not allowed to have a new account when I have a suspended account. So what do? This account gets suspended. I start a new account, and this one is a stealth account. So it has new IP address, new cookies, new everything on it, new name, everything on it, completely separate. So eBay doesn't know that I own it, so it won't get suspended. And that's how when I help people with their accounts, that's how I do it. I use a browser that has clean cookies, and I use a clean IP address so that I can help them with their account and not link up their account with any of my accounts. And I have separate logins on my computer. I have separate computers for all these different things. Even things like different hotspots. Each one has its own IP address, and there's ways to always change IP addresses for networks, VPNs, static VPNs. There's a lot that goes into it, but yeah, that's the safest way to do it. Okay. I'm not sure what you mean by this. Selling Vero items on eBay and PayPal is limited 180 days. I'm not sure what you're asking. Kind of confused. Okay. Flippin' Fav. Hey, I got in on one of your live ones. That's awesome. You demand, Paul, thanks. Question. Are you just using AutoDS for your stores? Yes, I am. And should I get tax exempt on Amazon using Prime while dropshipping Amazon to eBay? If you are dropshipping Amazon to eBay, you should definitely get tax exempt, and you should get a Prime account with 100%. Prime accounts will get your items out faster, and yeah, tax exempt will just save you a lot of money. Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for joining us. Watching your video, just made a sale on my eBay account. Congrats, man. From Copenhagen, what's up? Okay. Let's look at some more of these questions. Got a few more minutes before I got to call it a night. Can you do drop shipping on Amazon video? Sure. I'll make a video about that soon. Thank you. So Nick or Matt, camera. Thanks for looking at the comments. My pleasure. Enjoy your instructional videos. So I just sold an item on eBay, dropship from AliExpress to a customer in Texas. So I answered that one already. That's about tax, sales tax. I think I answered these last week. Oh yeah, I did answer these last week. So sorry about that. These are old questions. Okay. Please say some good categories. So the categories that I really like are home improvement sort of items. So tools do really well. Any home goods, so like furniture, I really enjoy drop shipping it. Not enjoy, that's not the right word. It just does really well for us. Tools, home improvement items, home goods, things like that just always seem to do really well. Maybe it's because we use Home Depot so much, and that's primarily what they sell, but it just seems to work really well for us. And that's, do you have a course for eBay? Yes, I do. So all that's linked up in the description of the video. And so that's a night, guys. Thanks so much, everyone who has come out to join us for the live stream. Remember, guys, if you have any questions about eBay or Amazon dropshipping that I haven't answered, ask it in the comment section of any of my videos, and I'll put it up on the screen just like this and answer it during my next live Q&A. But you have to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to show my little graphic that shows how to do that, but it's not working. Oh well. So just go underneath this video and hit that subscribe button. Next to it, hit a bell notification. You might get a pop-up on your phone that actually walks you through how to turn on notifications on your phone. Make sure that you do that. That way you get a pop-up on your phone that tells you I went live every time that I do, so that you don't miss the next live Q&A. If you guys got any value out of this video, you know what to do. Smash that like button down below. Only hit it once though, otherwise you undo it. And guys, for those of you who are coming to Miami, I'll see you on Friday. Everyone else, have a wonderful week. Bye for now.